Have you ever used this voltage regulator before? It is called LM7805. You might be wondering how it works because it is one of the most useful electronic components out there. I am going to explain everything to you. But first, what is the LM7805? An LM7805 voltage regulator is a voltage regulator that outputs +5 volts. An easy way to remember the voltage output of a LM78XX series of voltage regulators is the last two digits of the number. A LM7805 ends with 05. Thus, it outputs 5 volts. The 78 part is just the convention that the chip makers use to denote the series of regulators that output positive voltage. The other series of regulators, the LM79XX, is the series that outputs negative voltage. So, LM78XX, voltage regulators that output positive voltage. XX, voltage output. LM79XX, voltage regulators that output negative voltage. XX, voltage output. The LM7805, like most other regulators, is a 3-pin IC. Pin 1, input pin. The input pin is the pin that accepts the incoming DC voltage, which the voltage regulator will eventually regulate down to 5 volts. Pin 2, ground. The ground pin establishes the ground for the regulator. Pin 3, output pin. The output pin is the regulated 5-volt DC. Note that though this voltage regulator can accept an input voltage of 36 volts, it is recommended to limit the voltage to 2 to 3 volts higher than the output regulated voltage. For a 5-volt regulator, no more than 8 volts should be applied as the input voltage. The difference between the input and output voltages appears as heat. The greater the difference between the input and output voltages, the more heat is generated. If too much heat is generated through a high input voltage, the regulator can overheat. If the regulator does not have a heat sink to dissipate this heat, it can be destroyed and malfunction. So the two options are: design your circuit so that the input voltage going into the regulator is limited to 2 to 3 volts above the output regulated voltage, or place a heat sink in your circuit to dissipate the created heat. Do you think I gave you value? Please like, share, comment, and follow for more educational videos about electronics. Have a wonderful day.